Well, Tom, thank you for being here.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Can you tell me what Joogi is and how this idea got started?
Yeah, it's funny. I still have a hard time saying exactly what it is, but I'll give you the history of how it got started. So, 2008, I was flying for U.S. Airways. I was a pilot for them. My wife was working for a startup magazine, a really cool magazine in Phoenix, and the housing bust hit, and I lost my job. I got furloughed for 2 years. She lost her job completely a month later, and we ended up going to France just because we had this time off and I had flight benefits. And so I was just like obsessing over, the 2008 bust. I grew up in Eastern Montana and everything was level there. Nothing ever changed. You didn't have ups and downs, just steady. And so I'm like, where'd all the money go? Like yesterday, everybody was riding high. And now all of a sudden, like people are losing their houses. And it's just like, it was crazy. It was a wild time. And so I just was like, I kind of have OCD anyway. So I'm like just processing where'd all the money go? What could we have done differently? And so I just had this light bulb moment in about January of 2009 that everything should be crowdfunded, just so there'd be no debt. So that 2008 type, crisis couldn't happen again. And so that was the origination of it. So it's really about people coming together and crowdfunding every item, whether it's a house, a car, or something small. And so everything gets crowdfunded first. And then we give you joogis, which are like Chuck E. Cheese tickets. They're really not that serious. It's more fun. And then once the item gets funded 100% with US dollars, it flips into auction in the app. And now people are bidding against each other with joogis only. So just like, Dave and Buster's, it's just real simple. Highest bidder gets the item. Everyone else gets to keep their joogis for something else. So everybody wins. The people that crowdfunded, they get joogis for crowdfunding, they get joogis for referring people, and they get joogis for daily check-ins. So even if they lose the auction, they still get to keep their joogis for another one. So nobody really loses, and everything comes out debt-free.
So what, I mean, if this were to happen, like if this happened, was adopted broadly,
Mm-hmm.
like what would you hope this would solve, or like how much different would our economy and world look if this concept were taken on? Like,
Yeah, it's so big, and it's hard for me to even tell people because they can't believe it. But imagine if every house was crowdfunded, there was no debt on every home, everybody had a paid off home and a paid off car. There is so much money in the world. I mean, it's so abundant with money, but it goes to a few places, right? This is just bringing it into a circle of people that would normally always carry debt for their whole life, and we all pay each other's stuff off. Banks are crowdfunded, insurance is crowdfunded. It's just kind of a similar concept, but just bringing it into one place
I was going
and
to ask
making it
you,
fun.
yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Is there other places where this model works and has been proven?
I don't know. I mean, like GoFundMe. I mean, just crowdfunding anything, right? Someone can't pay their bills or their medical bill, so a bunch of people come together and pay it off for them. Kickstarter, where you fund a business, people come together. So same concept. We're just making it fun and making it for everyday items.
So have you guys funded a house yet with it or no?
No, and so what we realized is there was an expectation gap. A house is such a big item, right? Like people have a hard time believing that they could get a paid off home by crowdfunding. So we do have the house on there. It's crowdfunded about 18,000, but we start putting emphasis on smaller items. So the biggest thing we've run through right now is a $2,200 quarter bison from North Bridger Bison. 40 people crowdfunded it, and one person got it for 8,900 joogis. So you'd have to be in the app to kind of put a value on the joogis because it's kind of different to everybody. Some people thought that guy spent too many joogis on it. I thought he got a really great deal. And we just had a $500 airline voucher go through yesterday, and that person paid 84.40 joogis, something like that. It's almost as much as $2,200 bison, but they had $20 total invested in the entire app for crowdfunding, and they got a $500 voucher. So
is there a cap on how many joogis people can buy?
no, and you're not really buying them. You're getting them for crowdfunding.
Okay.
Yeah, people always ask, well, can I buy them? And it's like, no, but you can buy them by crowdfunding because you get them. So what we're trying to incentivize people is to go crowdfund something you don't even want, just to get the joogis to get something you do want.
So if someone said, I want to put $10,000 into the house fund, then they would get an X amount of joogis.
Correct. We have limited it to $1,000
Okay.
on the house because we're trying to really democratize this. It's a minimum of 10 to get in, and it's a maximum of 1,000 because if someone comes in with 10,000, then they get a lot of joogis, right? And then they would probably get the house. So we've limited to 1,000. There's a little bit of gaming element there. So you get 1,000 joogies for your $1,000. And then once you pay, it flips over and there's a 16 square multiplier you pick. And that gives you a multiplier times how many dollars you put in. So a lot of people are more competitive with referrals, daily check-ins with people with money. But when you asked me something about the $10,000. We did that because we just didn't want big hitters to come in and, take all the joogies and get all the properties. And we're limiting each person to one house. You can get 2 cars, you can get 2 of anything, but the house, 1 per person. Your wife could get 1, you could get 1, but we don't want people to get 10 houses and off the backs of, smaller funders.
Yeah, I would imagine. And like even me being a human, I start to think like, like how do you rig this? Like, how do you,
how do you hack it?
Have you guys had like things surprise you and then had to change things?
Yeah, totally. So, I had, another version of this, similar that I ran a few years ago. And I had just a contract team and we built it out and we found a lot of stuff. Yeah. We made a lot of changes based on people trying to, I wouldn't say scam, just trying to, figure it out. We had some funny stuff. We have like, if you're the highest bidder, it'll have your username. And, one of our users put, "You are the highest bidder." And so everybody thought they were the highest bidder. And, our dev team spent 2 hours on that when they figured it out. Our CTO guys, he's like, that guy's an evil genius. When he figured it out. So, things like that. And then, people were getting angry with each other. They knew how many joogies people were getting. And so we changed it so you can't see what other people are getting and you can't see what multiplier they get was the big one.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even like you can be, it's human nature. I think it's how we think, how could we make this easier?
Yeah.
How can we get ahead? And then, some people take that way too far and some people, have it somewhat contained.
Yeah.
But I'd imagine you'd see it. I was thinking this recently. I was in Arizona, and they have those Waymos.
I've ridden them over 60 times.
Yeah. So I was joking with my wife and some friends, and I'm like, I wonder, what's the craziest thing that's going to happen with these things that people didn't think of? Like, how will people rig this thing to take them across the country? I don't know, because they're just.
Did you look it up?
No,
I'm sure somebody's done it.
Yeah, I could only imagine because people are they're clever and you can't think of things.
And I think it's good because it does make you learn and make it better. And I like that I'm not trying to outthink them, but I like it when we find something that we didn't expect and we get to make a cool change for it.
So as far as you're the owner, are you the CEO?
No, I'm the founder. My wife is the CEO.
How do you guys keep checks and balances with, so somebody can't rig it, and how can you make sure it's not internally rigged? I guess you guys probably see everything behind the scenes. So how does that stay a level playing field?
Yeah. So really, my wife is the only one really that has access to everything, and she's 100% trustworthy, which is wild, but she really is. She doesn't even like me looking. She just doesn't like me to know. I'm trustworthy too, but she doesn't like me to know because I have a big mouth.
Yeah,
and I'll be like, oh, this person has that many joogies or whatever, but she won't let our son look. So really, I don't know. I mean, how would any startup do that? I don't know. I mean, it's really her, I guess.
And because I think of insider trading.
Yeah,
you just you can't help but wonder, and this is my humanness coming out. This is very ideal. If this can work and be done, and then I'm sure you've received plenty of skepticism. How has that been, and how is
the people that use the app? They're pretty good. They're not really that skeptic. They really get it. Seems to anyone who's on it seems to get it pretty well. But we put enough information on there. We tell, we give you information how many referrals you've had, how many joogies you have, and you can see we put every item so everybody can see what every item is sold for. So I think the users will keep everybody in checks and balances. They'll know. They always figure it out. They always figure it out if something is wrong.
So it's just a lot of transparency.
Yeah, we're going to add more too. That's in progress right now. We're going to keep adding more and more transparency.
And have you gotten severe pushback for anyone? Because this, in my mind, and I'll say this, I'll say this for myself. I'm always trying to think of how to do things outside the box, and sometimes I get frustrated with just kind of being part of the same old system
Yeah,
and the
yeah, yeah,
same, like you get a mortgage, you pay
yeah,
an
yeah.
insane amount of interest. I
Hmm.
buy an $800,000 house and pay $800,000 in interest to the
Yeah,
bank.
maybe more
Um,
now.
yeah, and it makes me kind of sick. And I
Yeah,
think there's got to be some more creative ways. But it's also hard to think outside of that box that's been molded.
we think this is it. So a background on me, like when I was in college here, I learned to fly, and then I went back to my hometown of Glasgow, and I ended up buying the flying service from my flight instructor. And I was 20 years old. I was still going to college, and then I bought and sold like 40 airplanes. I've done like 50 now. I've always been creative with deals. One time I took a mountain bike on trade on an airplane. I had a friend that bought and sold airplanes like in the 50s. He's long gone now, but he took like 10,000, where it's a little furry animal, not like a ferret, but it's something else that they make coats out of.
Okay.
He literally took like 10,000 of those on trade on an airplane once. Like they were live animals. Like, so I've always been around creativity just to get a deal done and have fun with it. And yeah, I like to shake it up. I don't like to be a straight deal. It gets kind of boring.
Yeah, a friend of mine, Chris, did the podcast a while ago, and he's done a lot of owner financing deals.
Yeah,
And even
I'm doing those now. Yeah.
those are so appealing to me to
Mm,
think that you could give the owner a little bit more money if you give them a smaller amount of interest. And
sure.
but it's crazy to think of 50% of the house just went to the bank,
Yeah.
and they have the capital, and you don't. So
Yeah. I financed a hangar for a young guy that I like out at the airport here about earlier this year. And I did 0 down and 5% interest. And yeah, I'd like to give a fair deal.
yeah,
Yeah.
very cool. So as far as if the house is a little bit kind of not tabled,
No, it's not tabled. It's on there.
but you're building the model with smaller
Yeah, we
items.
actually think we might get the house done by the end of the year.
Okay.
We're working on some stuff with like Howdy Bozeman and some other stuff that we think, and it could go in a day if it had the exposure. It just hasn't had the exposure, which has been fine with us. We've been tweaking the app and getting ready for that.
Hi, folks. Quick note from me. If you don't already know, the goal of Mountain Mule is to build real connection between Montana's businesses and the people they serve. If this episode or any other has given you something worth thinking about, smiling at, passing along, I've got a small ask. Share it with a friend, text it to someone, consider following the show. Whether you're using our services directly or following and sharing the show, those simple actions help support this business as well as the businesses and guests that have been a part of the show. Thank you for supporting these Montana businesses, local jobs, and this beautiful state. Now back to the show. I guess that would depend. Is it still the same house? It's still
It
on the
is.
market?
Yeah, I sold a place that we had in Phoenix to pay for this to keep it the same. So the board had to approve that because I own it now. But I didn't want to shake up our users and keep changing houses because the developer gave that to us to crowdfund for a few months in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously it took longer than that. So
yeah, I guess as the market changes and
yeah, so
something might buy or sell.
yeah. So I just bought it to stabilize it so that, but that's not our plan going forward. We plan for to work with realtors. We hope to crowdfund a home at every few minutes when we get to full scale. And so we want to have realtors all over the country that are bringing us, because it has to be previewed. We don't want any junk. We don't want a moldy house or a former meth lab. So we want to work with realtors to bring us houses, and we're hoping to be flipping houses every day through there.
So if, in theory, if a bunch of people jumped on fast and they want to do that $1,000, to take 400 or 500 people and you can have that whole thing.
Yeah.
And so does the user decide what they're funding?
Yep.
When they.
Yep. You cannot participate in the auction unless you put in at least $10 on items. So there's different strategies. If you want to do a lot of if you want to do 1,000 houses, you'd have to put $10,000 in, and you'd be able to bid on all those. Or you could put $10,000 on $1,000 for 10 houses, and then you'd have 10 options to bid on.
Yeah.
So there's all different kinds of strategies. It's a dynamic. Yeah. That we haven't even figured out all of it yet. We find stuff new all the time. It's kind of fun for us.
So I have an account. I have my amount of Joogis. Is that's only, no one else can see that but me?
Yep.
Interesting.
You can only use it in the app. It's like Chuck E. Cheese going up to get a stuffed animal. Instead, get a house or a car or something, or a quarter bison.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's on there now? Is there anything crazy or interesting on there?
Well, the house, a brand new car, Toyota Corolla that we've got that, we'll buy once it's crowdfunded, and so someone will get it. Bodie Farms. What else? We have a Japanese cake maker in town. I can't even think of the name of her deal. My wife dealt with that. She's great. We did one of her cakes that funded really quickly in 2 days. So we just put another one on yesterday or the day before. um, 320 Ranch, things like that. A lot of experiential stuff. I think that's good.
So different businesses are just
Yeah,
are putting stuff
we're
up
we're
there.
doing Bozeman first local, but we are getting a lot of hits from out of the country. I mean, not out of the country, but all over the country, like Puerto Rico, Minneapolis. We've had someone reach out to us from Ohio. We did a Google Meet with them about crowdfunding their house. Not only we're trying to get people into debt-free houses, but now people can't sell houses, so we're also trying to get the sellers out too.
Yeah.
It's a double whammy. Texas, California have reached out to us for crowdfunding house. We've got businesses now reaching out locally to put stuff on there. Like we had some local restaurants like Blackbird gave us two $50 gift cards to put on there. Main Street Over Easy gave us $50 gift card this week to put on there. So that's kind of like almost like a marketing platform too. We have about we were at 1,399 users when I came out here.
Okay.
So you can see on the app how many users we have. You can see how many Joogies are in circulation too.
So I've had a lot of different businesses on here. Like, is there any businesses you guys are looking for or not looking for, or is it?
No,
If they want to,
I think right now it's. I mean, anything with good intention. And we do a lot of town pump cards. We don't work with them, but we do a free auction every day that we fund just to keep everybody active, and they get to spend their joogies. So we've got a town pump on there right now. We do a lot of those because people need gas. The younger people like the town pump, like Mountain Berry Bowl, things like that. But no, we'd work with anyone. But right now we're trying to work as local as we can. Like good intention type local stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what does the team behind this look like, and how has that been?
Yeah, so I mean, I've been through many teams and a lot of contractors and had some big ups and downs. The team is really great right now. I have a big hitter board of directors. I told you that.
Yep.
Yeah, those guys are all big hitters. One more I didn't mention, but they're all big hitters. I've got my wife as CEO just because she's really good at doing work and she doesn't get paid anything. We raised $400K last year. It was pretty easy. It was all really, really great people. Like I don't have one, I have all of our investors are great. They're really cool people. We've got a dev team. So we've got a CTO. She's in Washington, Bellingham area. She's great. She worked at Solana. She built their wallet. She worked at Nike. Really good intention person. And we love her. And then she manages a dev guy in North Carolina or South Carolina. And then we have a UX UI guy that we contract to we need, but we're really scrappy. So we don't have a big team. It's working really well. This is the best it's ever worked, and it's the scrappiest it's ever been. So
as far as the business are the biggest expenses, salaries, and then marketing to get it out there.
Yeah. Marketing's starting to come to us. We're not spending much on marketing at all. But salaries, no one's getting a big salary. My wife's CEO, she gets paid $0. But yeah, everyone else is in very reasonable, but we pay based on contract. So it's cheaper. No one's getting paid big bucks to, per month. It's based on what they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, when did you start doing this?
Well, I came up with the idea in January of 2009.
Okay.
So, I've done a few iterations a couple times. Did one like in 2009, and it's all about the team. I think it might have been, it was too early for its time then. It feels like a little cryptocurrency, but it's not. But, that was kind of the time crypto was coming about. Like, I think maybe, when did Bitcoin come out? 2000, was it 9-ish? I don't know. Anyway, it might have been too early then, and I didn't have the right team and the right group. So then I did again, same thing, and now all of a sudden it's clicking, and it feels like the right time again. I came about because of the bust of 08, so I thought that was the right time, but now it feels even better.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, it appeals to me because I'm in the market to buy a house and don't own a home now. So, it's crazy right now.
Yeah.
And it is, I mean, you were saying this could benefit the seller too, because right now there's a lot on the market.
Yeah.
And
people can't sell. So I've sold 3 places in the last year, and I financed all 3 of them because, it was just for the buyer. It was easier for me to sell. I couldn't have got them sold if I didn't. So I just did one last week. I wouldn't have got it sold if I didn't finance it.
Yeah.
All I can tell you is get on the app and collect your daily joogies, because I'm very confident. I've always been confident. My wife calls me optimistic, bordering on denial, which I would agree with. I think you have to do a startup. I think you got to be a little bit crazy because you go through some rough times. There's always something going on, but this time it is really smooth right now. And I'm telling you, I can feel it happening. There's some nerves, but her and I both have it right now because we can feel the energy behind it, that it's all the signals are coming together. They're still all small signals, but every one of them is coming in. Everything we thought is working. Like everything I thought is being proved right. And so now it just has to scale.
Yeah. And so if anyone wants to, it's $10 to, can you start on the app for free?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's just
free.
$10 if you want to.
You can actually buy something for free because we have something we fund every day.
Okay.
So, the guy yesterday that got the $50 gift card, there was a bidding war and there were two younger guys. And so they don't have a penny into the app and they got a $50 gift card from Main Street Over Easy.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So here's what I tell everybody. I recommend you get on and collect your daily Joogis and put in $10 on the house because otherwise you don't have the option to bid on it when it comes up, right?
Yeah.
When it gets close, you can worry about it. You can always put more money in other crowdfunds and get Joogis. You can refer people. You'd probably be good at referring because you have a following. But the daily Joogis thing, you can't get back. Every day you miss, you're not getting those, right? That's the big one. But yeah, you don't need to put any money in. Just collect your Joogis and follow the journey. It's pretty amazing.
And so just by logging onto the app every day,
yeah,
that'll get you a Joogi.
It's at the top of the marketplace, and it's random. It's different every day, so could be the same.
Yeah, I mean, this is a cool concept. I'd be like,
I'm obsessed.
Yeah,
I'd sell a kidney to get this done. Like I'm. If you knew what I've been through to get to here, and I still haven't given up, it's crazy. And I'm actually seeing it coming to fruition now. So that's why we're like getting like, good nerves.
Where's the name Joogi come from?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. So I had a name I hated, Bidbucks, and I still own that domain, but it just drove me crazy. And so anyway, I would go, I'm not a good sleeper. I kind of stay up at night and my wife's like sleeps like a rock. So I'm laying in bed and I'm going through my phone looking for domains. Like I'd run my battery dead at night. And she's Korean, so I like Asian cultures. All of my Tokyo is like my favorite layover at American Airlines, and so I was looking for like a pretty word, like something maybe Italian or French or Japanese, something cool word for a domain. And so I started with the word give, even though this is not like a nonprofit. It's kind of give to get. You have to give to get. But I started with the word give, and I went in Italian, all these different languages, not German. The words aren't that pretty. So I ended up at Korean, and I asked, what's the Korean word for give? And somehow I came across Joogi, Jugi. So I text my ops guy. I have an ops guy, contract guy that does all our books and keeps everything in order. So I texted him. I said, hey, buy this domain. And so he goes, okay. And then he texts me back and he says, hey, Joogi is available. And I go, oh, that's better. I go, get that. It was the same price. It was such a deal. I think we paid $1,000 for it. It was crazy. So anyway, that's how that came about. And I love the name. It fits. And my wife sent to one of her Korean friends and she goes, oh, that's the same thing as Jugi, but it's a different version. I don't know if one of them is newer or older, but I like that it's Korean and it's a cool word.
And so what does it mean?
Give.
Give. Okay.
Yeah, it has something to do with give. And it is also circular. And this is going to be like a regenerative virtual economy type thing, circular economy. So that fits too. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's intriguing. It'll be very cool to see where it goes.
It's got two letters together, which I didn't think about at the time, but one of our investors he's a tech guy, he's had some exits and he goes, where'd you come up with that name? He goes, because it's really good for SEO because of the two letters together, like Google or even Zillow with two L's. I mean, that they look for that, which I didn't know at the time. It just kind of worked out that way.
Yeah. When you look at it at first glance, it almost like it looks like Google in that sense where you just see the O's and it kind of,
it's got a G and yeah.
So I don't know if the first time I saw it, I was like,
there was no intention, nothing compared. That I was thinking about that. I just started with the Jugi.
Okay.
But I like O's, the two O's there, yeah.
And this is just Apple, iPhone, or it's both iPhone, Android app.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Can you use it not on an app or is it only on the app?
For now, it's only an app.
Okay.
Yeah. When you're scrappy, it's like I always want to do everything. I want this, I want that, and I want a web version. But yeah, when you're scrappy, you kind of pick and choose what you do.
Before we keep rolling with today's episodes, I want to tell you about someone who changed how we show up as a business. When clients land on our website, we hear the same thing over and over. It just feels right. Amy of Unbridled Form asked us questions we'd never thought to ask ourselves, helped us figure out the deeper identity underneath our services, and translated that into a brand world we're genuinely proud of. Our ongoing partnership is easily one of the best investments we've made. Learn more at unbridledform.com. Now back to the show. So download it. There's nothing. I'm assuming you'll learn most of it on there.
Yeah. That's what we want. Are you familiar with like DeFi, decentralized finance, and with crypto?
DeFi I know of.
Oh, it's so confusing. But so many people figured it out. It's crazy. This is much easier than that, but it also takes, it's a twist on everything. So it's a little bit of a mind twist.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I wondered like what that would be like. So you guys can see like user engagement and everything and how much. I'd imagine
Yeah.
when that house gets close, you'd have
Oh, it's going
like
to be wild.
people would be telling people or not telling people
Well, I
because
think it'll be national news then,
yeah,
especially after it goes, but even maybe beforehand.
yeah.
We'll start with like Howdy Bozeman. My wife's with him right now,
Hmm.
and we're kind of devising a plan to expose this for him. We like Sam a lot.
Hmm.
We enjoy him, and so we'd like it to come through him,
Hmm.
and then we think it'll go like local news, and then Montana news, and then national news.
Yeah. Yeah, he did the I know Sam and he did the podcast a while ago, but
Yeah,
he really does a great job
yeah,
getting information out around here.
yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. What was I going to tell you? Maybe think of something with Sam. Oh shoot! Anyway, lost my train of thought. That happens a lot.
Can I ask you like a
Yeah,
little bit about your airline career and how you got
yeah,
into all that? And
yeah,
yeah. So you grew up on the Highline.
yeah,
You said
yeah.
the town again.
Glasgow, Montana, yeah, like
Okay.
Glasgow, Scotland.
And you were flying planes pretty young.
19. I was at
Oh,
MSU in North Edges, and a friend of mine was trying to pick up a girl with a student pilot certificate. And that's when I thought, maybe I'll learn to fly. It's kind of how I made all my decisions in life.
hmm.
And so I went home and got my license that summer. And then I was flying back and forth to college. My roommate would ride with me and a Super Cub and a 172. And I ended up buying that flying. So I went back the next summer. I was working for my flight instructor. And then I ended up buying the business from him for $5,000. And so I was an Exxon dealer. I had a 135 certificate to charter. So my dad loaned me money to buy 2 airplanes. And he didn't fly. He had no interest, but he was good about helping out. And so that's how it took off. And then I was just working there and buying and selling airplanes, Exxon dealers selling gas, and then one day there was an airline that came in there for gas every day, and they called me up. The chief pilot called me. It was a gal, and she called me up and said, "Hey, why don't you come down and work for us?" And I said, "No." Then a month later, she called me. She goes, "Just come down for interviews." So next thing I know, I'm got an interview. So now they hire me. Now I'm flying for this airline out of Billings, going like as far as Dallas. It was a 19 passenger airplane, no bathroom or anything. And then,
That's a long flight with no bathroom.
well, we'd go to Denver and
Oh,
then
okay.
we did Oklahoma, Punk City, Dallas. But still, we had people going to the bathroom in the airplane sometimes, like for real, like more than both. Anyway, so I was doing the flying service and doing the airline thing. And so I would fly up and spend the night in Glasgow so I could clean the terminal at night. So I'd get out and fuel the plane in my uniform, and then I'd clean the terminal, vacuum it, clean the bathrooms, and then be out in the morning. Then I'd come back on my days off and work there. But then some guy wanted to buy me out, and it was a good deal. And so I sold it and just did the airline thing. And I was at that airline 4.5 years. And then I got hired in 2004 at America West Airlines out of Phoenix, based in Vegas, then Phoenix. Met my wife there because of that. And we bought US Airways. And we took their name. They were bigger than us. Then we merged with American. So total, I've been there 22 years.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great job.
So now you're flying full size commercial planes.
Yeah, that was starting in '04 at America West was full size. I was the Airbus like 320, 321. Now it's a Boeing 787. And so it's like, Europe and all over the world. Auckland, all good places, good food. And yeah.
What's the most interesting thing about that job that people don't think about that just sit on airplanes all the time?
Yeah. The novelty's kind of worn off. I mean, I think people think it's glamorous,
Hmm.
but it's pretty tiring.
Yeah.
But I love just seeing new places because I don't like to travel. When I get home, I don't even want to go to Livingston or Big Sky. And so I love Tokyo. I get those in the winter. And then when I'm done with those, I almost have a little bit of emotion thinking, okay, I'm not doing these for, 6 months or 8 months or whatever. I really love seeing Tokyo in the city. So I'd like just see new places that I wouldn't go to see on my days off because I don't like to travel.
Yeah, that's got to
So
be
it
very
forces
cool.
me to do it. Yeah.
There's a guy, Andrews, his name, and he's doing some flight training in Livingston. Do you know Livingston Airport?
Yeah. I've never landed there, but
Yeah.
I've been there. I've driven up there and looked at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great because
Yeah.
you just like, I don't even think there's a fence around it. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah. That's the way I grew up. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's probably similar to the airport where you were.
Yeah. And we finally put a fence around it, but not for security reasons because the airline that I flew for, Big Sky Airlines, they kept hitting a deer every year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I had to go clean it up. I was airport manager.
Nice.
It was nasty. I remember scraping it. It was, everything was stuck to the runway. It was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weird experience.
Well, I feel like everyone in Montana knows about that because the deer are everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, once a year. They was like just one a year, but finally we got a fence put up around the whole airport for that reason. That's a cool thing about airports. They're like pretty trustworthy.
Hmm.
Like if you can go to all these small towns and
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, even the Bozeman one here, we drive on the tarmac with our cars all the time when we pick people up in the
Well, you have a
jets.
gate badge at least, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and they like
Yeah.
there's a federal protocol
Yeah.
to go up and let the gate come down. But
Yeah.
yeah, like that one, it's kind of a trip when you just go there and um, just drive out on the runway. And
Yeah, we went out Saturday night. One of my our son's friend wanted to see some motorcycles, some old motorcycles I had in the hangar, and he wanted me to look at airplanes. So I don't have an airplane now, but I rented some airplanes and some hangars. But so we went out there, and I get out there, and my gate badge wouldn't work. So I looked at it and it expired 6 days before. So I called one of my renters that rents from me, a really cool guy, and he's one of our investors in Joogi. He's a neat guy. So anyway, I call him, and I said, "Are you close?" And he goes, "I can be." So he shows up with his wife and kids, and we all go in. We look through some hangars and look at airplanes, look at his airplane. And then we ended up in Jared Isaacman's hangar with that. He's got that Star Wars cantina. They had their hangar open. So we just went over there and asked. That guy is really accessible billionaire. He's a nice guy. He was head of NASA.
And that's here at the Bozeman
It's an
Airport.
exact replica of Star Wars cantina. I'll show you some videos when we're done. It's amazing.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. I think he brought Disney in, from what they said too. I think Disney did Star Wars to, replicate it.
Huh.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here that you would never
Well,
know.
you see it if you're inside the airport. Yeah, like Google Summit weekend looks like the Super Bowl's here.
Yeah. On that side of, investors and board members, are you guys looking for more investors in the company? And like,
we're just raising a small round right now. We've got 230K left allocated. We raised 400 last year, and that'll take us about 18 months if we wanted to, because we're only burning about 13,000 a month, which is amazing. Honestly, it's unbelievable. But we want this to be a local success story.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much all of our investors are local. I have a couple airline pilots that ask me. I try not to cross paths with American too much, but I do a few airline pilots. If they ask, I let them in. But mostly local, really cool people. I'd love to mention them on there, but I won't. But
yeah,
I have such a rad group of investors.
So if this, if or when this works and goes well, like how intense would it be to like just keep replicating this all over the country?
What we'll do. Yeah, we actually even hope worldwide. So
it's just a matter of building the team as it grows, and then
it was just easier for us to do in Bozeman locally because we have a lot of connections here. Like Linda from Hummingbird's Kitchen or Matt from North Bridger Bison. Everyone's been willing to help here. It's really Bozeman's accessible.
Yeah,
it's easy to get to people.
Yeah,
and they're willing to help.
Yeah, and I love Matt's concept of regenerative agriculture.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's great.
And if you can think of that concept in an economy, is how is this, not just draining something, like how is it? And it seems like this is the concept you're on with this.
Yeah, I like regenerative with everything.
Yeah. He had pointed that out, and I feel like I've brought this up 100 times, but people always say sustainable. He's like, but you really want regenerative.
Yeah.
Because how is the how is the soil reproducing it and not just being stripped? But to sustain is really to.
And I love that he shoots it from long range. Doesn't have a bunch of stress hormone. Like it's I think it's awesome.
Yeah, there was a guy growing up that was doing that, and that was the first time I'd heard of it. But the concept of even if you raise this animal perfectly, then you put it on a trailer and stress it out.
Yeah. Who was the guy?
It was a guy that I worked for growing up on the East Coast, upstate New York.
Yeah, it wasn't. That guy that's famous for that, Joel.
No, but I know who you're talking about. Joel.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the name of that farm?
Yeah. He's come to Bozeman. I had lunch with him at Jam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got
somebody wanted me to meet him. This is about probably 5 years ago. Yeah.
But he does a lot of like similar stuff to what Matt does.
Yeah, he's got the chickens following like he puts those chicken carts out and they spread fertilizer as they eat, and it's all regenerative.
Yeah, which is cool. So I always think of that as how can a business and an economy work more like that? Like the same concept as the farming, other than just like milking everything dry and then leaving it to be.
When we get this done, it's going to be wild. It's going to take on a life of its own. I think anything regenerative kind of does.
Yeah.
So.
Is there anything else I didn't ask you about it, or anything else anyone should know about it?
I don't know. No, I mean, I think the biggest thing, because people are really, they have a hard time with the understanding of it. It's real simple stuff just blended together. But I think the easiest thing I could tell everybody is just sign up for an account and collect your daily Joogis. Even if you don't want to put money in, just don't miss collecting. That's the thing, because you can't get caught up on that, right? That's every day you don't collect is a day you miss. So
Yeah, well, that makes sense. But yeah, I'll share this on my platform, and hopefully some more people sign up. And
yeah, it's going well. I mean, like we added 18 new users on Saturday and Sunday, and it used to be kind of me asking people to sign up, and now no one's really signing up that I ask, and it's more just they're coming out of all over the country. You kind of.
And in theory, if I ask someone to sign up, then I'm going to get more.
There's
Joogis,
a referral
so
link on the
the-
My Stuff page, so
Okay.
definitely send it because you do get Joogis. That's the biggest one you can get for no money at all. That's huge.
Yeah.
That could level the playing field with the big money person.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
And then
that's
that could grow the whole system and get the whole thing funded a lot faster.
for sure. Yeah,
Cool.
definitely. If you tell someone, refer it.
And where do people go other than the app if they want to learn more? Joogi.com is the...
Yeah, we've got a website, and it tells you what it is, and,
Yep.
and then takes you to the app. So yeah, we've got an Instagram page, Joogi_fund. We have a TikTok. I don't know what that's called. We have we're doing a little bit on YouTube. We'll ramp that up too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard when you're scrappy with a small team to do everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I'm excited to see where it goes.
yeah. Please sign up.
Cool. Well, I appreciate your time, Tom.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for listening, folks. You can find the full blog post for every episode, along with key takeaways and links at mountain-mule.com. If you haven't yet, consider following the show. That one small action helps these Montana businesses get seen, grow, and thrive, and it helps this podcast keep going too. If you know a business that would be a good fit for the show, we'd love to hear from you. Just reach out through the website or social. Thank you for supporting these Montana businesses. See you on the next show.